Hello! I think I have the setup right. Alright. I had to get the tiers ready for listing. So I'm just triple checking that that is in fact set up. Let me see. Okay, yeah, it is. Alright, so as implied by the name, we're going to be tier listing of tiers. I don't actually have like I have a list for ones we're gonna do, but I don't know if I could fully explain some of them, because some of them are gonna be there's gonna be some stuff here because yeah, we're obviously gonna do like obvious, okay, which one do I like the most type uh tier lists, but there's gonna be some other stuff too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and we're gonna get right into it, because I would like to begin I would like to begin the steady helping of slop. And my voice is messed up this time. I did not bring a drink in here, so there's a good chance it's like this for the rest of the stream, but you know what? It sounds alright. It's got that husk to it. So, let me just... Alright, so... Here we are, tier maker, the Slop Central. Alright. So, first thing we're doing, right off the bat, I'm just gonna get this one out of the way. I don't even need to search it up because it's like right here. Alright, yeah. Alright, ignore that. Okay, apparently I used this one at some point for a smasher pass, but, there we go. So, we're not doing a smasher pass with these, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say. First one we're doing is just how much I like them. And mind you, this is going to be 100% subjective. There are going to be characters that are technically good, I guess, that are going to be in, like, D tier or worse, because I don't like them. And that's just how it's going to be. So, since it's just, like, how much I like them, I'm not going to mess with the actual tiers too much, I don't think. Yeah. We're just going to add some, because there's, we are going to need an F tier for, we're absolutely gonna need an F tier at the very least. We're skipping E. Now, you know what? We won't skip E. I have a lot of hatred to give, I think. No, E does not go before D. I know that because I learned the alphabet. Alright, there we go. Alright, so stop that. And we have F. So if it's just for something that's like this, where it's just like how much I like them, it's probably just gonna be something like this, where it's just your typical S tier, A tier, B tier. Maybe some deviations, just depending on what I'm actually doing, but there are going to be other standards by which I judge them, and I will probably change the tiers for those just so it's less confusing. But starting right off the bat, actually, hold on. It's like really okay. I need to get some music or something. I technically have music I could use. I just don't know if I'm if I'm allowed to do that one. So we're just gonna do this in silence, unfortunately. Because well, hold on. I think at the very least, give me just a second. Let me mess with OBS. Let me do something really quick. Music. This might get a little repetitive for y'all, but at the very least, you'll have Wait, I think this is... Okay, yeah. At the very least, this will be... It'll be, is it this one? Okay, I think it is. Might have to loop that one. I'm turning it down though, because why is it so loud? There we go. Technically not necessarily for this, but that's fine. You're actually returning this down a little more because it's that seems right. Because this isn't supposed to be hello. We haven't really started yet because I'm trying to make this less dry by doing some music. So here we go. And we'll... There we go. That should be fine. I have it quiet because, again, that's not really the... that's not exactly the focus. But there we go. Make it maybe a little quieter. Okay. I'm gonna be without music. Y'all, at the very least, y'all will have something to listen to instead of just hearing, like, silence occasionally broken by my currently slightly messed up voice. But we're getting right into it. Just ranking the Genshin characters based on how much I like them. And again, 100% subjective. There are going to be characters that are technically good that are probably going to be an F tier. You have tinnitus. Oh, so it's never quiet for you. Alright. Then I didn't need to bother with the music. I'm joking. Yeah, I have, like, weird on and off tinnitus, I think. But, Aether. I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna rank both travelers together, because they, are functionally the same character, unless you're just ranking one based on, like, oh, well, I guess there's the Abyss Twin. I'm gonna be so real, I don't care for either. They're not going in F tier, like, maybe D tier? Because I just personally find the travelers to be very boring. Like, I mean... They're the player character, first of all, and I have this thing, especially in gacha games, where if you give me a character for free, or if I start out with a character, there's something in my brain is going to, like, some chemical gets released, and it just forces me to assume that they are automatically bad, and I just never use them. So, I don't know... That's not always true, mind you. Sometimes the characters you start with are actually very good mechanically. I just don't use them because it's boring to me. But, in the case of these two, I believe, I think they're, like, there was one point in particular where they were just really cracked because, like, something was bugged with specifically if you had Hydro applied. Like, if you had the power of Hydro on the Traveler. And I think Pyro Traveler is apparently good. I'm not talking about them mechanically. I just don't really like them as characters that much because, again, they are the player characters. They don't... That's it. Like, I just don't really care for them. Next up is Jean. I actually quite like Jean. I wouldn't put her, like, I don't like her nearly as much as I think I used to. I think I might have, like, used to really like her, back when it was, like, the game was just 2 regions. But, I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe B tier, because I like her design. I actually like how simple it is, especially, like, even compared to some of, like, the craziness that starts happening with the designs later, which isn't bad, by the way. It's just kind of refreshing that there's also some, like, more simple designs like this. And as a character, I don't think she does a lot for me, which is why she doesn't really go above B tier, but I do decidedly like her, so it's not like, okay, well, I'm neutral about her, because if I was more neutral, I'd probably put her in C tier, but I do like her when she does show up. Which, I don't really have that much to say about Jean. Very solid, solid character, at least for me. Also, I'll specify, there's gonna be times like this where I don't have much to say about the characters, just because, in this case, it's like these two who I just don't care for that much, and Jean, who I just kind of like, but there's probably gonna be characters I can start going on about, oh, believe me, I will when we get to them. Okay, Lisa. I actually like Lisa a bit more than Jean. I really like her, I don't know, kind of playful personality. I like that one voice line that she just says for no reason, completely unprompted, where, it's her morning voice line, and she just says, "Good morning, Jean." Like, girl, what are you on about? Very funny. I love that. I love that she just, takes naps, and she's apparently, crazy strong, but, she just, she's just doing her thing. She doesn't, really care to display that all too much. And you know what? Diva. That's how it should be. Very... You shouldn't want to, do more than you have to, so good job, Lisa. But as a character, as far as how much I like her, we really, there was one specific era of Genshin that made characters that I really liked, and honestly, if we were doing this tier list before that era, these two might be an A, or even, not S tier, but they'd probably be an A tier at least. But because of the specific era of Genshin I am referring to, they kind of moved the bar up, and I can't really do anything about that, so unfortunately Jean and Lisa are down in B tier right now, just because Mondstadt does have a hard time keeping up with the other regions in terms of me liking them. Granted, they have been getting some more stuff recently, but still, I don't... Probably one of my... Not my least favorite region, it's weirdly in the middle. I think that's why it's I'm having a harder time with them, because it's the first region. Amber! First character you kind of meet. I mean, I guess you see Venti before that, if I remember correctly, because it's been so long since I've seen the actual, the first few minutes of Genshin, because I've been playing since basically, a month or two after release, so very, very old. But, Amber is the first character you directly interact with that isn't Paimon. And I actually really like Amber. I think she was my favorite for a little bit. It's kind of, I kind of like that she's really just kind of a nice, honest person who works hard. Again, pretty simple, because again, it's Mondstadt, but I do appreciate it, at least in Amber's case. It's nice to have a character that's just kind of the friend shape, and I respect her for that. I do personally like her a bit more than Lisa and Jean. I wouldn't put her in A tier because, again, a little simple, which isn't always a bad thing, but in this case, it's just because it was the first region, and they didn't know how crazy they were going to get with some of these, but, yeah. Noelle, on the other hand, is a character I don't feel much about, one way or the other. She's there. I don't think I ever really had strong feelings about her since the beginning. Oh my god, I might have to skip, bro, because these first two regions, everything from... There's going to be maybe 2 characters in Mondstadt and Liyue that I do have actual strong feelings for. this might be, you know what, we'll save the best for last. That makes sense. Anyways, back to Noelle. I just don't really care for her that much. I know they, like, her hangout is, like pretty cute, apparently. I'm gonna be so honest, I haven't done any of the hangouts, bro. Like, Genshin is one of those things that I enjoy playing with an asterisk at the end of enjoy, because it's Genshin. It is what it is, and what it is a game that I have played. Granted, there are some parts I really enjoy about Genshin, but when it comes to stuff like the hangouts, I just can't be bothered because the amount of primo gems it gives is, like, minuscule compared to doing, like, almost anything else. And it requires me to do, like, it requires me to sit through dialogue, which is fine if it's a character I already like, but if you're asking me to sit through, like, pages of dialogue about characters I'm already indifferent on, it's a little bit more of a hard ask. Like, I don't mind reading a lot of exposition, because I like writing, and I do like world building and stuff like that. But, in Genshin's case, I can't be bothered to read everything. I will get into the things that I am interested in, but if there's other stuff going on that, which there is lots of other stuff going on in the lore, that I'm not as interested in, I'm not going to bother doing homework on that, because again, it's Genshin. But Noelle is one of those things. The hangout, I didn't do it. I know she's, like, got some other stuff going on. I just never really care, though. Sorry, Noelle. Barbara. Kind of similar situation with Noelle, but I do feel a bit more positively towards Barbara, just because, I think I remember her, like, I think I'm specifically, it's the one Dragon Spine event, the first one, I think that's what it was, where, I think she had, like, she introduces you to Rosaria or something. I kind of liked that dynamic. That was kind of cool. But other than that, I don't really, again, I just don't feel that strongly towards, Barbara one way or the other. I do kind of like the thing she has going on, where it's like she has, like, this weird stalker guy or whatever. I don't even remember his name, but, that's kind of a bit of a character thing. It's not like they never do anything with it, but I mean, it's there. It might be a Chekhov's gun. I don't know. Maybe he's like, oh, I'm gonna make my move now, and then, like, I don't know, Rosaria has to kill him or something. Maybe they'll do that. I don't know. Maybe that plotline will go somewhere. But for now, Sucrose. I actually started kind of liking Sucrose a bit more. I don't know why. Actually, wait, I think I do know why. It's because, there's an artist I've been seeing drawing her that's kind of literally it. Otherwise, she'd probably be at the top of, maybe she will be. I don't know, top of C tier or bottom of B. Okay, I'll put her at the top of C for now. If I feel differently about it later, though, I might adjust it, but I don't actively like her as much as I do with, like, Jean, Lisa, or Amber. So she's just gonna have to be in C tier. Though I do feel a bit more positively about her just because she's, I have been seeing more content and stuff with her. And I think, oh, wait, you know what it is? It's because of that one artist that, like, ships her with Emmy Lee, and I like that. I like their art. I like the way they characterize her. That's what it is. But this is for strictly canon sources, so she does not go above C tier. I do, like, even subjectively speaking, I feel better if she's at the top of C tier, because it's technically not, like, her through her own merits that she would get to the bottom of B tier. So we'll just leave her here. Again, I don't feel that strongly towards her. She's like what Albedo's like, I think she's like his pupil. Yeah. God, I'm like already forgetting some of the the old stuff, the sacred text. But yeah, I, again, don't feel very strongly about Sucrose. I'm gonna try to start moving through some of these, like, Mondstadt and Leeway characters that I just don't feel strongly about, because I don't want to just, talk about, like, I don't know, I don't feel much about them for hours, and that's also not that entertaining to listen to, probably, so, Fischl. I like Fischl. How much do I like her, though? Damn, not that much. I don't know, somewhere in B tier up here with, like, Jean, Lisa, and Amber. I think I like Fischl more, maybe? No, I'll put Fischl down here for now. I like Fischl. I like her, like, theater kid thing she has going on. It's pretty funny. I like that for some reason she's still kind of, like, cracked, and even more so after the, like, Mondstadt character buffs, which is insane. Like, good job, I guess, keeping up with, like, actual 5 stars since, like, the release of the game, because they weren't sure how to balance things back then when they first made it. But again, I'm talking about their characters. Weirdly, I don't, despite liking her a little bit more than some of these, I don't have that much to say about her, because it's been so long since, I've really done anything in the game that's even really tangentially related to her, so she just stays, she kind of stays right here, and I don't have much to say. Mona, I'll put her, I think, above Fischl. I like that Mona got that thing in the, like, she actually did get to show up very briefly during the Fontaine Archon quest, but all it really amounted to was, oh, talk to my master in the Hexen Circle, and then and then she did, which one was it? It was, like, we know their names now, I just don't remember which one it was that talked to us, but, yeah, we talked to them for just a second, and they were like, oh, you actually can change the prophecy, bye. Didn't really, it was a pretty short conversation. But point is, I do like that Mona got to be there, because if I remember correctly, she is from Fontaine originally, which is pretty cool. It kind of raises some questions, like, I don't remember if she was born in Fontaine, because if she was, then that would have made her, like, technically an Oceanid, or Oceanid, however you want to pronounce it, because they pronounce it 2 different ways in the game, as they do many things, but she would have technically been one of those for most of the game up until version, like, 4, version 5. Wait. Version 4, I was right the first time. Which is kind of interesting. We never see it get discussed, though. And that does kind of... there is a bit of a question to be asked there on if, like... if, like, that whole thing of, like, Focalor, like, just fully making all Fontainians human applied to Fontainians who weren't currently in Fontaine. I'm gonna assume it does, but either way, it's just kind of interesting. Not really anything to do with Mona specifically, technically, besides her just being a Fontainian that's not in Fontaine, but, it is interesting, and she is somewhat interesting. I think it's funny that she's broke, I guess. Next is Kaya. I don't really like Kaya. I just don't really like Kaya. He's more interesting than the Traveler. I'll put him up, like, the Traveler, it's better to be someone I dislike than someone that's just, like, boring. I don't know. I never really liked Kaya. That kind of personality is, like, for me, it's really hit or miss. Kaya just didn't really do it for me, man. I don't have a lot to say about him. He's, like, I think he shows up in Sumeru for a bit. I don't remember what he does. I don't think he really does anything that important. He just gives you some exposition and then leaves. Which maybe I'm being a bit too mean. Maybe I'm being a bit too. I guess technically every character's role can just be reduced to, oh, they give you some exposition and leave. But in this case, he really did only show up just for that. So D tier Kaya. D-Luke, the alien himself. His model has not aged gracefully at all. It's it's really bad, actually. Sorry, D-Luke. Okay, I don't think he goes into F tier, but like, especially looking at, does he? I don't know. He might. I don't know. He'll go in E tier for now. He's so boring to me, man. Like, I know there was, like, that whole plot line of him, like, oh, I used to be a Fatus, and it's like, alright, that's cool. And then, like, meanwhile, literally every other character connected to the Fatui is just, like, infinitely more interesting. I do not like his off-brand IKEA Batman stuff he has going on, bro. You are not Batman. Just, like, at least be interesting to me. Like, again, I know some people really like him, and once again, I feel the need to to confirm that this is 100% subjective. This is just me, like, whatever he has going on does not work for me. I just don't like it. I find it incredibly boring. I don't know. I don't have that much else to say about him. He hasn't really done anything. He's supposed to be pretty strong, like, in the lore. I don't know how strong. Probably not very, now that we've started seeing more, like, god level or above people. He's out of his prime for sure. In terms of mechanics, oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, D-Luke. Not really, but you had a good run. But yeah, E tier. I just find him boring. Razor. I don't know. Where does Razor go? Thinking top of D tier or bottom of C tier, I do not care that much for Razor. I'll put him bottom of C, I think. He's okay. He has, like, the, like, wolf thing going on. He's like he's like raised by wolves, which is really funny. I don't, what can I say about Razor? He talks funny. That's funny, I think. Once again, I just do not feel that strongly towards Razor, and again, I'm kind of tempted to put him in top of D tier because I don't really like him, but I honestly feel more neutral towards him, so bottom of C tier. Hopefully, hopefully we start getting to some, like, more interesting, like, because we kind of did with D-Luke, but we're going back to being just the ones that I don't care about. Bennett, I don't like Bennett. I think I'm actually gonna put him down here with D-Luke. I like D-Luke a bit more, I guess, technically, or more like I just dislike him less than Bennett. I don't like Bennett. I don't like him. I just find him annoying, which, again, I could not fully explain my reasons, because I could say, I don't know, I just find the gimmick of, oh, I'm unlucky, but I'm still happy. I just don't think it works as well, but really it just comes down to, I don't know. I just don't like him. There's, like, this is one of those things where I just don't like a character, but I could not fully explain to you why. Something within me is just 100%, like, just completely opposed to the character, and I really am not entirely sure what it is. I just find him annoying more than anything. I know he had that thing recently that I still haven't done. That was right when I stopped playing recently, because with Genshin I go through phases where I'm either playing it for a few months or not playing it for a few months up to a year or a few years, but I stopped playing right before the thing with Bennett after Natlan, like where you go to Merijavari, I think. I think that's part of why, ironically, I think that's part of why I stopped playing. I just don't care to do that. It's just not something I care about. At least not enough to, like, get back into the game, because now that Nodcry is out, there are things I care about, and I might just have to, like, blitz through the Bennett stuff and then just read it later, so that way, if there's anything important, I don't miss it, but I don't care about Bennett. I guess it's interesting that he's technically from Natlan, he's Natlanese, his parents were, but I don't care. You could make Bennett one of the actual Archons and I would not care about him, bro. Next up, Ningguang. I do actually like Ningguang, not as much as I used to, because again, it's like, later patches came out and just pushed the bar way too high. Ningguang, I think I will put in B tier. I think I like her a bit more than Amber, because I just like her, I like the business lady stuff she's got going on, and I like that she's, her whole thing is like, well, we don't need Morax to do everything. We can do this stuff ourselves sometimes. I think that's pretty cool. I think that it like her thing with Beto is very interesting, that she's like, oh yeah, well, yeah, let's work with the pirates. That's huge. Let's just work with them. It's just business. I promise it's just business. Anyways, I do like Ningguang. This is still, like, in the era of Genshin where the characters are a bit more simple, and even the ones I like, I wouldn't be able to tell you too much about, because it's, like, it's more based off of vibes, because it's been so long since a lot of these characters have made big appearances, like, outside of things like events and whatnot. But I do like Ningguang, and speaking of Ningguang, Beto. I also like Beto. I think I might like her a bit more than Ningguang, actually. I really like like her whole thing, like, as a pirate, but she's also really nice, and she's like, she works with Ningguang. I like their whole thing they've got going on that is obviously 100% just business and nothing else, and no, I really like these two, and yes, Baiguang is very peak, but I like Beto's involvement with the Inazuma quest, because she is there for a bit, which is pretty cool. She shows up and just starts helping, and it's always nice to see her be cool. Again, don't have as much to say about her as I might have back in the day, just because most of the characters I have a lot of thoughts about are the most recent ones, so I've like, until we start getting closer to something like Fontaine or even Sumeru, I probably just won't have very strong, like, I just won't have a lot of thoughts about characters that are older. So Kuching, actually it's like Kutsing, I think that's how it's pronounced. Yeah. Definitely not helped by my drawl, but you know, at least there was an effort made. But she is, she falls into this category of characters that I just, they're all right. They sure do exist. I don't have a lot of thoughts about her. I think it's, I don't know. I think the thing where she like, she's secretly fangirling over like Rex Lapis, aka Morax, aka Zhongli. I think that's funny, I guess. I don't personally care for it, but it's something I remember, so I do like her though. So I'm gonna put her maybe after Barbara. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm putting her after Barbara, but before Noelle. Next is Xiangling. I also just, oh my god, we're gonna have like a whole, alright, let's get through these. I don't care about Xiangling that much, or Xiangling. I don't know if I like her more than, she's okay. I think I do like her a bit more because, you know what? We'll put her top of C tier, I think, because I do remember, like, not the most recent Lantern Rite, but the one before that, that just gave Hu Tao a bunch of depth and story stuff for no reason, which was crazy. I actually liked her in that. I wish they actually did more with her because her whole role in that entire thing was to just say, "Hey guys, let's go eat together," and then they're like, "Oh shit, we gotta go save the world, but we can't tell anyone about it because I don't remember why they couldn't. It was just something that was being kept under wraps, and only like Hu Tao, the Traveler, and like maybe 4 or 5 other people knew about it. But Shangling wasn't one of them for some reason. So she just kept showing up to be like, "Hey guys, let's go eat together," and then they were like, "Okay," and then they'd kind of leave her hanging because they had to go do something related to the aforementioned saving the world from the tree thing. What was the name of the tree? It was like Tao Du, I think, something like that. But I don't even think it was a tree. Maybe it was. I don't remember. Either way, they'd kind of like leave her hanging, and then she'd come back and say, "Hey guys, let's go eat next time for sure." And then that's it. It was actually kind of sad. I really wish they did more with her because for being Hu Tao's like supposed best friend, she really did not add or contribute much at all to that whole thing, which is really sad. Like honestly, I'm not as mad about it as some people I think were, like the Traveler coming in to save Hu Tao at the last minute. Like I just kind of didn't really care that much when it happened because like I said, I'm pretty tuned out for anything with the Traveler, but like I do think it would have been cool if Shangling had done it. Like, I know it's more like, oh, what is she supposed to do, bro? Like, I get it. I know. I know. She cooks and her, like, teddy bear is like an ex-god or something. But, like, she could have done something. She didn't get to do anything for that whole quest. Y'all could have given her, like, the big win to her at the very least. But, yeah, she's top of C tier. I wish I could like her more, but they have to actually do more with her for me to like her because they just like even in events like again the aforementioned Lantern Rite, she just didn't get to do anything. She showed up, would say, "Hey guys, let's go eat," and then got left out of like everything. So, yeah, Chongyun. I don't really like Chongyun, and it's kind of same situation with Traveler, except he doesn't do a lot, at least from what I remember. So I'm just putting him in D tier, and because like if it were someone like D-Luke or Bennett, at the very least, I could talk about how I kind of dislike them. But with Chongyun, I do dislike him, but I also just find him boring. So I don't even have a lot to say about him. Same with Xingqiu. I think maybe. Do I like him more than? No, I don't. D tier above Traveler, but below Kaya. I don't really care for Xingqiu that much. We still haven't seen his brother, which people are still hyped about apparently. Even though I'm gonna be so real, I forgot he had a brother, bro. I don't know. He likes poetry. That's kind of cool. He does some stuff. His haircuts his haircuts fuck ugly, but that's not that doesn't influence my opinion of him. That's just an observation. Like, oh my god, whoever did that to you, sue them. Horrible cut. Chi-Chi. I don't care about Chi-Chi. I think I care about her less than Razor, so bottom of C tier. I don't have much to say about Chi-Chi either. She's like a zombie I think it's funny that she has that thing with Hu Tao where, like, I think Hu Tao buried her alive once. That was pretty funny, but that's something I find more enjoyable about Hu Tao rather than Chi-Chi. Like, Chi-Chi is essentially a prop in that, whole thing to me. So bottom of C tier for me. I don't really care for Chi-Chi that much. Venti. I don't like Venti. Part of this isn't even his fault. I've learned to associate him with people saying that he is secretly every other character that has ever, been mentioned in the lore at some point, and I got tired of it. Like, man, let's consider for a moment that he has been confirmed to be, like, if not the weakest Archon, then one of the weakest. At least from what we know. So no, I don't think Venti is secretly all of these people, and I get it, like, headcanons are fun. I do acknowledge that things like symbolism and imagery are very important and can mean things like that, but it just got annoying to me mainly because they'd be giving him stuff like that in a headcanon that other characters have arguably more connections to, and I don't know, I just don't find the like drunk bard thing to be that likable for me personally. Like, he stopped really mattering to me after, like, the first Archon quest. He served his role and he dipped. He did what he was supposed to. I like him more than Bennett. His buddy D-Luke. I like him more than D-Luke because he's less boring to me, so there's that. I don't know. Easily, I think my least favorite Archon. Well, I don't know. I might have to adjust some of these as we go, but we'll see. We'll see. Klee. I don't like Klee. I don't like Klee. I find Klee very annoying. Like, the whole, like, I think you can make child characters work, kind of. I don't think you can make it work, like, with Klee, the way Klee is done. I don't like Klee. And no, her connection to Alice does not save her. That's a crutch, and she needs a wheelchair, bro. That's not gonna help her. I don't care that, like, oh, her mom is one of the Hexenzirkel. Nepotism has no place on this tier list unless it is nepotism being granted from me to a character. Nepotism from existing characters does nothing for you. You are F tier, and you go sit in the corner, think about what you did, stop blowing stuff up with bombs, go to school. Yeah, I don't like Klee. Actually, I'll elaborate on it. If anything, her being, like, related to Alice or something makes me like her even less, because it's like, are we supposed to care about her just because of that? Because I'm gonna be so honest, you haven't given me a lot to care about outside of that, at least for me personally. I just don't like the way they did her personally. Which, I mean, honestly, objectively speaking, she might be fine. Like, I don't think even objectively she would go anywhere above, like, a C tier, but, like, and this is just purely because I just don't really like her that much. But that's it. Enjoy being an F tier Klee. Child. I actually used to really not like Child. I still don't care for him too much, but I've started to have a bit more of an appreciation for him. I might put him bottom of B tier, actually. I've actually really started to, like, appreciate Child a bit more, especially now that the Fatui stuff, like, we've been getting a lot more Fatui stuff. It's actually really helped me, come around to him, and he did get to do some cool stuff in the Fontaine Archon quest. I don't know why he was there, but, shit, he was there and he got to do stuff. And, yeah, so, I'll put him bottom of B tier. I've actually warmed up to this guy quite a bit, so, miraculous journey from what probably would have been maybe a D tier all the way up to B, so, good job, Child. I kind of, I do think, people maybe, are a bit too forgive and forget sometimes, because I feel like it's been so long that a lot of people might have genuinely forgotten, but, I find I personally find the terrorism thing kind of interesting. I just don't, that's not necessarily a downside to him. He did 100% try to kill literally everyone in Liyue, which is bad and evil and fucked up, but, that doesn't make him less interesting. That just makes him, oh, get the hell out of there, child. You are not A tier. Not to me. That just makes him a bit more interesting in the sense that he's not fully a good person, which that was kind of supposed to be the whole draw of the Fatui, is they're not fully good or evil unless you're Dotore, daughter, who is I'm sorry, he's kind of fully evil, but we're not talking about him. We're talking about Child. He's I like his whole thing a bit more now. Like his him trying to get stronger no matter what. The reason he uses a bow is because it's his worst weapon right now and he wants to get better with it. I found the him wanting to fight everyone thing to be very one note originally, and I still kind of do, which is why I'm glad they kind of leaned away from it, but it is funny that it kind of serves to upscale characters sometimes, but I can't really give that to him because that's more it just makes me like other characters more sometimes. But no, I do think people need to, remember that he is in fact not a great person, because I don't even know if I'd call him a good person, but because he did try to, summon a, ocean demon to destroy all of Liyue, which, I think a lot of people, are maybe a little too forgiving of. All I ask is that you acknowledge it. You don't have to, condemn him for it. Everyone is allowed to, their mean characters, their evil characters. That's fine, but, the characters, don't pretend that they're not what they are. I have to do it sometimes. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. Sometimes your favorites are evil, and you know what? That makes sense, because they're villains. They're just objectively more interesting. So, granted though, I think Child may be closer to the bottom of the ladder compared to some of what we've seen happen recently. So, I'll give you that. Diona, I don't. Okay, so I don't have a lot of thoughts about Diona, and I don't have very much to say about her, but not in the way that I would some of these C tiers that I'm neutral about. I kind of just find her boring to the point of not really caring that much. I'll put her above Traveler and Chongyun. What does she do? I genuinely don't remember anything she has ever done. And that's with me, actually kind of trying. I think she was part of the... No, I genuinely can't remember. I'm, blanking. I can't remember anything she has done outside of events, and I'm even having trouble remembering anything she's done in events. I remember her whole thing is she, hates alcohol, so she's trying to take the industry down from the inside or whatever, which, I mean, that's an interesting concept. Do something with it, because this is, I'm sorry, this is nothing. You're giving me nothing here. Zhongli. I might have put him at the bottom of C tier, originally, because it's, I think I might. Yeah, I'll put him at the bottom of C tier, just because, I like him more than Chi-Chi. I like him more than Razor. Alright, that's as far as he goes. I like Zhongli. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I forgot. There was some stuff that happened recently that I do like about him. I was kind of... Since we've been ranking all the Liyue and Mondstadt characters, I was kind of thinking more during that era of the game, but he did get some stuff that made me like him, so... I'll put him above Fischl, maybe. Yeah. I liked I like his whole thing, like him being an archon that he kind of just wants to do other stuff now. He's working at the funeral parlor. I love his relationship with Hu Tao. Like he's like to me he really is kind of just her dad, since she doesn't have like any like what she was. I don't know if she was raised by her grandfather, but he did die when she was a kid, so Zhongli's your new peepaw. He's old enough to qualify for grandfather role. But I do like even though they have this whole thing where he's like, he's pretty stoic, he does have moments where he shows he really cares, like during the chasm quest where he saved Zhao, and then especially during the Lantern Rite event, like the one from last year, where he specifically asked the Traveler to go, like, even though Hu Tao told him not to. I don't remember exactly what the setup was, but basically he was supposed to not... He was supposed to let Hu Tao go do something, and then he was like, nope, you're not doing that. Traveler, go save her. Because I don't remember exactly what it was. I think she just straight up kind of needed to sacrifice herself because it was like someone needs to seal the Tao Do thing or whatever, and then she needed to be there to do that, but it would probably kill her. And then Zhongli was like, okay, well, the city can wait for a bit. Go save this go save this creature I work with, this gremlin, because I do wish they would update her, like his voice line about her, like I cannot stand that child or whatever. Actually, I'm kind of okay with it, because nowadays I read that as more of like a, like I mentioned, like, oh, grandfather, like I do kind of read that as more of an exasperated parent type thing, almost. Not parent, but like how maybe my teachers would talk about me sometimes, like I cannot stand that child, but like at the end of the day he really cares about her. Like he was so like proud and happy talking to the Adepti about her at the end of the quest. It was actually really sweet. So again, Zhongli kind of glow up, same as Child, like where it was like he might have been a C tier for me just because I used to find him a little boring, but they've done some stuff recently where I like the way they characterized him, so he moved up to B tier. Good job, Zhongli. I'm probably gonna start going through these a bit faster because honestly, I didn't expect one tier list to take this long, so we're at the very least I have more material for next time though, so I don't care for Xinyan. I'll put her in C tier because I like, again, kind of saved by content outside of her initial debut. As in, I kind of liked the one quest in Inazuma, that one, what was it called? The Labyrinth. I don't remember what it was called. I'm gonna stop trying to remember the name. It was that one event that Child was there and Xinyan was there, and there was like it was basically like a roguelike event, which was so cool, and I wish they brought that back because I actually really liked it back then. I kind of liked her during that, but I don't have much else to say about her, so we'll move on. I don't care for Albedo. I know he's been getting more stuff recently, and I know that was enough to move, like, Child and Zhongli up. I just don't care about what he's been getting. Like, he has an evil twin. He, like, made Durin not a dragon. I don't care. I just don't. I don't care about Albedo. He got a facelift on his model. That was kind of cool. That has nothing to do with him as a character. I just find him very dry and bland, which I know is the point, but I mean, if that's the point, then you can't be too surprised when that doesn't necessarily click with me. So you're, go down to D tier, and stay there. Or, you know what? Nah, D tier. You don't need to go down to E tier. Not yet anyways. Yeah, that's it. I just don't really care for him that much. Ganyu! Same with... I might move her behind Barbara. There we go. I don't have much to say about Ganyu. She was never a character I cared all that much about. She's like an Adeptus, which is kind of cool, I guess. And she talks to, she's like pen pals with, Miko, which is kind of interesting, but that's more because I actually, spoilers, I actually do like Miko. It has nothing to do, it has literally nothing to do with Ganyu for me, but it is enough to put her higher in C tier, so good job. Oh boy, not gonna make a lot of friends with this one, bro. I dislike Zhao, bro. I kinda hate Zhao. Okay, most of the time, if a character is, like, overly, like, just emo, there is a good chance I'm not gonna like them, and there are a few further on this list that we'll get to that I just don't care for, so it's not just Zhao. I really do not like the like, there's just the over-the-top, edgy, like, emo shit he has going on. He is kind of interesting. I just don't, I don't know. He could, shit, what has he done? Like, I don't know, he helped during the Tao Du thing, like, the Lantern Rite, thing I was talking about with Zhongli and Hu Tao, and he was there for the Chasm quest, which was interesting. I'll put him above Klee. I'll give him that much. I don't find him as annoying as I find Klee. I just don't like him. Actually, you know what? I might move him out of... No, I'm sorry. The emo, the edgy, it's too much. You can make edgy characters work. It's just, for him, like, it's just too much, man. I don't like the way they did it with him. Okay, so this is gonna be kind of whiplash. I fucking love Hu Tao. I adore Hu Tao. Which is... Oh, that actually kind of worked out perfectly, because we went from this is interesting at the very least. I don't know if I'd put her in S tier, but, like, she really got helped by, I've mentioned it a few times already, the, Lantern Rite event, the one from last year. Like, I really appreciate that, and even the one before that, because I, like, in last year's Lantern Rite, she kind of got, like, a character arc that was a little similar, like, the major strokes of it were similar to Farina, and Farina and Hu Tao are two characters I've wanted to interact since, like, basically Farina was introduced, and it, like, it was just a kind of crack, I don't want to say crack ship, but it did actually become a crack ship for me, so, not entirely, inaccurate, but it was just kind of a crack dynamic that I had, where I was like, you know what, they'd probably get along pretty well. So when the year before last, the Lantern Rite involved, like, Neuvillette and Farina going to Liyue, and they actually did get to interact, I was ecstatic about that, because it's like, oh, the two overdramatic girls and their old dragon grandpas are, talking, even though Neuvillette, like, wants to judge Zhongli. It was very interesting, but Hu Tao as a character, I'm really glad she got, like, they showed some of her depth during last year's Lantern Rite, where she was just straight up about to sacrifice herself to, save literally everyone from the Tao Du, or whatever. I remember it being a tree, but it might not have been a tree. But either way, that was, like, really cool. It was nice to see, like, her interact with everyone. It was nice to see her do something, like, actually genuinely 100% serious. And it was nice to see, like, how she interacted with all of her friends, especially when she was kind of essentially telling them goodbye, like, without letting them in on what was happening. Like, that was pretty nice. Very, I will admit that I'm biased a little bit, but that I did specify that this list was going to be very subjective. Hu Tao was actually, I believe, my first actual 5-star in the game, and I mained her all the way up until Raiden's release, until A's release. So she's kind of one of my OGs. So yeah, she's A tier. Hu Tao is old reliable for me in terms of both like character and mechanics. Well, maybe not mechanics anymore. I feel like no, actually she still kind of holds up decently. Like she's not gonna do crazy numbers or anything, but like she hasn't fallen off as much as like some of her contemporaries from the time. So yeah, Hu Tao A tier. Rosaria. I actually really like Rosaria. I think I'm gonna put her maybe above Amber, I think. I don't know if I put her above Beto or Ningguang, but I do like Rosaria. I like her whole, like, she's a nun, but she doesn't she's more of an assassin than a nun. She only really became a nun for, like, cover, but she doesn't even really fully understand the religion they're practicing. Like, I like it. It's interesting and it's funny. And I like her dynamic with several characters. Yeah, not that much else to say about Rosaria. So moving on to Yanfei. Maybe C tier? Maybe no, I actually do like Yanfei. What am I talking about? What? How much do I like her? I like her a little less than Jean, maybe. I don't know. I can't really quantify these that easily, but I think she's alright. I like her whole backstory and introduction with Eula, which was really cool. I kind of wish they did more with it. I wish we got to see her a bit more. I think it's cool that she's half Adeptus, and she's a lawyer, which would have been kind of cool if she got to do something in Fontaine. Like, she'd not even show up, like, and do anything huge, just kind of maybe a cameo. But yeah, kind of low-ish middle B tier, and I do like her. Alright, Eula. I actually do like Eula. I don't know. I would probably put her in A tier if, like, she got to do more recently. Because I do really like Eula. I did, kind of dual, like, off-main her for a bit, like, switching between her and Hu Tao. And I do like her a lot as a character. I just wish she got to do more recently, because if she did, then I'd probably put her in A tier, but she just really hasn't done much in a while, so B tier. Top of B tier for me. Am I alright with that, though? We'll leave her there for now. I do like her whole, thing where, like, she just, like, the little quirk she has of, like, saying, oh, I'll, have my vengeance or whatever for, like, literally everything. It's pretty funny. I like Eula. Kazuha. I do not care for Kazuha. He's... hold on, I'll put him next to D-Loot, because it's kind of a similar thing. I'll put him above. I just find him a little boring. Which, I can't even fully, like, explain myself on that one. Like, I know he had that thing in the Inazuma quest where, like, oh, look, he used 2 visions, with, like... It was 2 visions, but with an asterisk, because it was a very specific circumstance that let him do that, but, like, still, he did technically do something. He did do a lot of stuff, but I just can't really... I don't know, I just don't really like him that much. that's it. I just personally find him kind of boring. Even though he does in fact do things. He hasn't gotten to do anything really recently, to my knowledge, that I remember. But he does do things sometimes. So, yeah, he goes in E tier. Below Venti, because Venti at least has the appeal of being an Archon, but above Diluc because, I mean, he did get to do, like I said, he did get to do some stuff in the Inazuma Archon quest. Ayaka. I wish I liked Ayaka more, but I don't. She's gonna be in B tier for me. I think... Oh, wow. I don't think she goes... Hold on. I don't think she goes above Jean or Lisa for me. Hold on. That doesn't seem right. Okay, maybe... Okay, she goes above these three at the very least, after giving it some thought. She goes above Rosaria. You know what? I think she does go... Yeah, I guess she does go to the top of B tier with Eula. I like her. I kind of wish she got to do more again. She is saved once again by content that happens later. She does go to Fontaine with Yoimiya, and I thought that was a really cool event, the film festival event. I loved it. That was just a goated event. But we got more with Ayaka, and it was very nice. I wish they would do more stuff like that. Sadly, I also don't have much to say about her because, what can I say about her? I don't know. I kind of like the, yeah, sorry, Ayaka. I don't have much to say about you. Moving on. Yoimiya. I love Yoimiya. Again, I mentioned a minute ago, she, like, went to Fontaine with Ayaka. I loved both of them in that it was a cute Fontaine, Ayamiya date. But even before that, her second story quest takes place in Sumeru, which is actually pretty cool. I think they should maybe do more, like, character story quests that take place in other, regions. I think that would be kind of cool. But I like that, despite the Aranara, having this thing where it's like, adults can't, what was it? It was like, adults can't see us or remember us or whatever, or like, they can't know about our presence, but they let Yoimiya be an exception because unironically, her childlike whimsy, like, she has a free, pure spirit or whatever, and that's why they're, like, the Traveler and Yoimiya are the only exceptions to that, which I love that. I love, like, now that I'm thinking about it, like, conceptually, I love that there are other characters who are exceptions, because, like, usually the Traveler is the exception to any given, rule because they're the main character, and the protagonist has to be exempt from the normal rules of things, because that's how storytelling works, apparently. But, I like that there was an exception given to another character, instead of it just being like, oh, well, the Traveler is an exception because they're the main character and that's why, sorry, it turned into Traveler hate somehow. But talking about this more specifically, I think it makes sense that Yoimiya would be an exception, and I'm really, really glad, because I've always liked her as, like, a character, which has been tragic, because she's not particularly important in the Archon quest, and mechanically, she was never that great. She was always kind of decent, but, she never stood out too much from anyone else, especially since Hu Tao already existed. So, you know, always been kind of rough, but I do like I said, that they gave her, like, that stuff in Sumeru where the Aranara are just, the Aranara let her, see them because she's cool. She's cool like that. Oh, and in the film festival thing. Loved her in the Fontaine Film Festival event. Sayu. Sayu goes down with the Chi-Chi. I don't have a lot to say about Sayu. She's alright. Hey! Do I do it? I don't think I do. If this were back in the day, I might have put her in S tier, and I'm still seriously considering it. But, there's just been a lot more characters that have come out recently that I just like a lot more. I'm gonna be so real, there's probably only gonna be, like, 4 or 5 characters in S tier, so that's how exclusive I'm being with it. That's why, like, nobody has ended up there yet, because it's S tier. You need to, you better mean that shit. Don't just be putting anyone here. So again, that's why I'm like, I don't know, because I really like A, as a character. I think she's, once again, kind of hurt by not having a lot of stuff to do. Well, no, wait, that's not true. I forgot about the event, about Mizuki's story quest and the event that happened with it. She actually did get some stuff, which will at least solidify her as the very top of A tier, because there was some really cool stuff. There was some really cool stuff in that whole thing. I like that we got exposition about some of A's old friends. That was pretty cool. I think, like I said, if I weren't being so exclusive about S tier, she might go up there, because I really did love that event. But like, S tier is reserved for like my absolute favorites, and unfortunately A does not quite make the cut anymore, although I do still love her. So top of A tier. I know people still hate her for doing the stuff she did, which, I mean, that's fine. I just see the same people not hating other characters for doing like just objectively worse things and continuing to do them. So just saying, I don't personally hold anything against her, really, because, like, I mean, shit, we're apparently just letting anyone do anything. So I don't know, if people are forgetting about, like, Child, and mind you, I like this guy now. If people are forgetting about Child just straight up trying to destroy an entire city, then I think I'm fine to say that I don't personally give a fuck that she, shut the borders of Inazuma down and did the Vision Hunt decree. Like, oh no. But speaking about that, I do think it is really cool. Like, it's just, like, that's part of her character. Like, she does want the best for people, but she just has a really shitty, like, grasp of what that means, and needs people like, Miko and everyone else to explain, hey man, I just feel like there are some steps you could have taken before that. And then she's stubborn, but she does get the memo eventually. I really like that part. I do really like that part of the aspect of her character. And I like that she's apparently, like, maybe top 5 in the verse, even with all the revelations we've had recently, just because, like, shit, I guess it's because she's a Raiden, and Hoyoverse just really likes them being, like, insane. But, like, what do you mean you want to make your god one-shotting machine more powerful? Like, I remember when she said that, and, like, I don't think it was the game, I think it was, like, one of the live streams or whatever, like, to show the new versions. She was talking about trying to make the Shogun stronger, like, or not the Shogun, but something, and then it's like, what do you mean stronger? It already one-shots, like, actual gods. What more do you want? Oh, and apparently we've gotten confirmation recently that Scaramouche, was made from the branches of the Irminsul. So, like, apparently A can do that. So, like, every patch that has come out has retroactively upscaled her. especially with Nodcry talking about, like, more stuff to do with the moons and the moon sisters and stuff like that. For some reason, like, A and Arlecchino keep getting, like, retroactively upscaled and having lore just kind of related to them. But anyways, moving on from A, Sarah. I'm alright with Sarah. I like her. Might put her above Amber. I put her above Rosaria. Yeah, I'll put her. Sarah doesn't get to do much, but I kind of like her. She's pretty cool. I like the hard-ass general thing she has going on. Do I put her above Beto and Ningguang? I don't. Sorry, Sarah. I do wish she got to do more, because, oh my god, she did not get to do shit during the Inazuma, like, Archon quest. Like, what, she was an antagonist for part of it, and then she gets one-tapped at the very end, by Senora, who in turn gets, like, neg-diffed by the Shogun puppet, so I wish she got to do more, but she is alright for what she is, and I do like her. So, moving on to Kokomi. I might put her below Jean and Lisa. I didn't really like Kokomi when she first came out. I'm still not crazy about her, but, no, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm sorry, Kokomi. You're going into C tier. She is okay. Once again, same with Sarah. I wish she got to do more. I'll put her top of... I'll put her top of C tier, I think. I just wish she got to do more, because it's like, she got to be, like, the general that's, like, fighting the, like... She's fighting the Shogun... They say Shogunate. That's not right, though. But, she's, like, fighting them during the Inazuma quest, and, like, then, like, after that, she just goes back to being, like, the priestess thing, I guess. And it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about Kokomi. I don't really... it would be nice if they did more with her. Every time she shows up, it just really feels like she's kind of just there. So, sorry, Kokomi. You were almost in B tier until I remembered that you really don't actually do that much. Okay, so I'm actually gonna make a separate tier for fucking Aloy, because this is not a Genshin character. This is not... I can't rank you. This is not a Genshin character. Okay. Alright, bye, Aloy. Get out of there. Like, that's Aloy from Horizon. I can't, like, this is a Genshin tier list. I get that you are in Genshin, but I can't rank you. Like, even if I wanted to, I haven't played Horizon. Like, I don't know, you're voiced by, Ashley Birch, which is cool. Anyways, Toma. I like Toma. I'm putting him maybe below Child in B tier, because unfortunately he's just not as interesting as some of these characters, but I do like him. I like the whole, like housewife butler thing he has going on. It's pretty interesting. He does help you a bit during the Inazuma Archon quest. Doesn't do much outside of that, as far as I remember. Wait, I think maybe he was part of the, like, the event with Mizuki and all of them, where they, like, yeah, I remember, because they were, like, in the hot springs, yeah, the bathhouse. But he just didn't do much. At least, like, he didn't do enough for me to, like, oh my god, there's so many characters now. He didn't do enough for me to, like, for him to stand out to me, really. So, B tier because I like him, but bottom of B tier because he's not that interesting. Ito. How the hell do I feel about Ito? Because he is really funny, and he has some moments I really like, but I don't know, he's kind of, at least to me, he's a bit one note, so I might put him below Toma, just because, he is funny, and I do like him, but he's really not got that much going on, at least for me. Uh, he is very funny though. I will give him that, but he just doesn't have the like he doesn't have any more appeal than that, at least to me. So bottom of B tier, but I do love the song number between him and Paimon in that one music festival event. That just had a weird lore drop at the end of it for no reason, where Miko was like, "Oh, what if the bigger war comes to pass?" to A, and then A was like, "Oh, I'll just fight." Like, it was a music event. Why are we talking about what are we on about? Ito and Paimon are like singing about animals or something, and you're over here like talking about like War of the Worlds, War of the War. But yeah, Ito goes bottom of B tier. Goro is not so lucky. He's okay. How do I feel ranking him above these? I feel nothing, because I don't feel much for Goro as a character. I think I'll put him bottom of C tier. I think it's funny that he does that cross-dressing thing as Miss Hina against his will sometimes. It's a funny gag. Shinha. I'm alright with Shinha. Where do I put her, though? I think I'll put her bottom of B tier. Well, not bottom. Actually, she's actually pretty interesting now that I'm remembering her story quest. I'll put Shinha, like, B tier, I think. Yeah, we'll put her... I think I'll put her above these three. Yeah, I like the whole thing where, like, Cloud Retainer or Xian Yun raised her, and she's, like, really crazy strong, so she has to have the, like, ropes to, like, bind her emotions and her strength. Her backstory is pretty cool. I liked her story quest with, like, Yunjin and everything. That was pretty cool. Speaking of Yunjin, I actually really like Yunjin also. I think I'll put her here because she's not technically as interesting to me as Shinha, but she is very, she is still very fun, I think. Like, I like her opera thing she does in a few quests. Like, not quests. I think she does them in a few quests, yeah, but I think it's specifically events that she sings in, which is always nice. And again, I liked her in Shinha's story quest, but despite liking her, I don't have too much to say about her, so we'll just leave Yunjin under Shinha in B tier. Alright, now Miko. Miko's in a similar position to A for me, where, like, back in the day, I might have put her, like, in S tier or at the bottom of S tier, but, like, I'm being very exclusive about S tier, so she's gonna go right next to A, at the top of A tier. I love Miko as a character. Like, she's, like, really fun. I really, like, I might even put her above A, because she's just, she's really fun. I like that she's just really, like, cunning, and I like that, underneath that, she's secretly a yearner. She's a fake I don't give a fucker. She literally spent 500 years just coming up with a plan to get A to, like, come out of her room, essentially. Like, that was her priority, and I love that. Like, she didn't even really care about the Gnosis at all. She was just like, oh, you want this? Okay, sure, and gave it to Scaramouche. I really liked her, like, her participation, I suppose, in the event, in the story quest with Mizuki. It's kind of cool seeing her, like, some of her old friends and colleagues and stuff like that. But I really like her as a character. I think she's stronger than me, because if I were in her position, I don't know, man. I don't think I'd have survived that. Yeah. Like, I don't know, if you're gonna date a Raiden, you gotta have the mental fortitude for it. Like, I mean, shit, look at Kiana, look at Black Swan, like, that shit's a job and a half, but Anyways, I like them. I like both of them, so they're both top of A tier. Ayato, I find him boring. He's going next to D-Luke, and I have even less to say about him, so bye, Ayato. And I would also like to get through this because this has gone on way longer than I thought. Yelan. I like Yelan. How much do I like her? I like Yelan this much. A little more than Zhongli. I think it's interesting that she just straight up stole, like, a coat, like, that was supposed to be delivered to Regrator, Pantalone, whatever you want to call him. And she just turned it into a mantle. That was kind of funny. She just shows up sometimes and, like, does some stuff. Like, shit. I would have more to say because I know she made a brief appearance during the Nod Cry event, or not event, but the first part of it. But, yeah. I haven't played that yet, so I don't know. Shinobu. I like Shinobu maybe a little more than Toma. I think she's pretty cool. It's funny how she's kind of just Ito's, parental guardian, kind of. Like, he's, I wish they both got to do a bit more than that, because it feels like sometimes their dynamic is a bit one note, and, but it's still funny, so B tier. Heizo. I have no feelings at all towards Heizo, because I don't remember. He's a 4-star, so he didn't have, like, a story quest, and I think there might have been an event that featured him, but I didn't play it, so the only knowledge I have is the, like, maybe handful of times he shows up during other things, and I just don't remember him, so Heizo goes maybe above Albedo. I really do not have any feelings towards Heizo, really. I'm only putting him here because, like, I really just don't remember that much about him, so it's not like some of these other characters that I find boring where I at least remember things. I just do not remember shit about Heizo. Tignari. I don't like Tignari. I don't even remember that much about him. I'm gonna be real. Sumeru was kind of a blur for me because I don't remember what I was doing, but I think it was because the Aranara quest, I kept trying to, like, focus on that, and it just got annoying. And that goddamn desert, bro. I hated that desert. I didn't really like Tignari. How much do I not like him? I don't like him this much. I think I like him more than Ayato and Bennett, at least, so I'll put him there. Kale. I do not have a lot of feelings towards Kale, so I don't know. She goes above these three because she at least has, like, an interesting backstory. She, like, the doctor experimented on her or whatever. And she's friends with Amber, I think, so top of D tier. Dory. I don't care about Dory either. Shit. Go in E tier with Tignari. Oh my god, Sumeru, bro. This is, like, one of the most unpopular opinions I have. I did not care for the Sumeru cast that much. I didn't like Sino either. He goes above Tignari. Here, actually, y'all, I'll be nice. Y'all can go above, well, maybe not Venti, but, y'all can go above Kazuo and, D-Luke. Well, Sino can. I don't know about Tignari. Yeah, Tignari, go back here. I don't know, man. Most of what I remember about the characters, I just remember not liking them. Sumeru was right before I quit playing the game for a bit, and I had to get through the rest of it that I didn't finish to get to Fontaine when I started playing again, so I just have some kind of negative feelings towards it in general. Candice! I don't remember anything about Candice. You can go above Diona. Nilu. I also don't remember that much about Nilu. Here, you can go. Wait, I like her dance thing she does to like distract the people at the academia. That was pretty cool. I'll put her bottom of D, or not bottom, top of D tier. Nahida, she's alright. I find her kind of boring. I'll put her above Kale. Yeah, not much to say about Nahida. This is when they started really deciding for some reason there was just a streak, like 3 regions in a row, where they were just like, but what if there were 2 of them secretly for the Archons? Like, I don't know why, but just Inazuma, Inazuma, Sumeru, and Fontaine all had, like, a similar twist with the Archon, where there was secretly 2 of them, and, I kind of liked Sumeru the least out of all of them, just in general, but especially the way that was executed, I just didn't particularly care. Layla, I don't remember Layla at all, man. I have to put her down with Hazo just because I don't remember anything about Layla. Scaramouche, he's okay. I used to hate him. I'm okay with him now because, again, like, retroactively a bunch of Fatui stuff has happened that's like it's kind of brought them back into relevance, and he is alright. I'll put him bottom of C tier. Most of what I find interesting about him isn't about really him as a character, but more about the lore surrounding him, like the stuff with the Fatui and with A. So, unfortunately for Scaramouche, he's mainly, for me, carried by his connection to other more interesting characters and concepts. So, bottom of C tier. Like I said, nepotism will do something for you, but only if I'm the one bestowing the nepotism. Faruzan. I don't remember shit about Faruzan either. I remember she's apparently old as hell. I'll put her... She looks like Miku. I'll put her above Layla, I guess. I don't have a lot to say about some of these characters. Alhaitham. I don't know. Yeah, he goes bottom of E tier. I didn't really care for Alhaitham, man. I don't have much to say about him either. I just really don't care about him. I don't remember Yao Yao, bro. I don't think I've actually seen a cutscene with Yao Yao in it, to my knowledge, somehow. So, shit, close to bottom of D tier. Daya. She's okay. I guess I'll put her next to Kale, above Kale, because I don't remember much about her. There's that cutscene of her, like, I think, telling a guy to cut her arm off or something, or whatever. That was kind of cool. Mika, I think I've seen one cutscene with Mika in it. We're just at a bunch of characters that I either do not know that well because it was at a point that I really was not paying attention to the game, or characters that I just actively dislike. A lot of negativity right now, but we're almost out. We are almost to the point where it's gonna be Glaze City. Yeah, I don't, Yao Yao, I don't know anything about you. Go next, or Mika, I don't know anything about you. Go next to Yao Yao. I didn't even remember who we were ranking. Mika, yeah. Baiju's kind of cool. I actually kind of like Baiju. I'll put him high C tier, I think, because he actually does get to do a lot of stuff, which is pretty cool. Or not a lot of stuff, but he's just more recent. He has more exposure. So, close to the top of C tier, because he does get to do some things, and I like his whole story. I liked his involvement, again, with the Lantern Rite quest with Hu Tao last year, and I liked his story quest, and Hu Tao was also there. Let's see. Kaveh. I don't care about Kaveh. Shit, I don't know. It's somewhere in E tier. So put him somewhere in E tier, I guess. Where do we put Kaveh? Next to... Do I like him more than Bennett? I don't. Yeah, you're at the bottom of E tier, Kaveh. Sorry. Don't have much to say about him. His design's cool. Not much to say besides that. Kirara! I love Kirara. Probably somewhere in B tier. I really like her whole thing she has going on. She's a Nekomata. And she's a courier also, which is kind of cool because that means she gets to appear in other regions a lot. And I liked her showing up in Fontaine for Chiori's story quest, which was pretty cool. She shows up in Inazuma for some quests, but I do like that she's not necessarily limited to her region of origin because she is, or she's less limited than most characters because she's a courier, so it's expected for her to be, like, traveling a lot. Yeah, I think I actually am gonna put her over here next to Ayaka. I feel bad putting her any higher because it's like some of these characters are actually really important and Kirara is just some, like, cat that I happen to like, basically. So, okay. Linny! I love Linny. I actually really love Linny. I think it's actually, the House of the Hearth in general, but, like, I like his whole thing where, like, I remember reading one of Fremene's storylines where it was, like, he was trying to tell Linny to, like, rely on them more, but, this is something that, like, Fremene and I think Lynette have both said about him, and for sure Arlecchino has, that he tries to do everything himself, he tries to take everything upon himself, and, I really like that. Like, on the outside, he just seems kind of, devil may care. He seems just like this suave magician who doesn't really have, like, he doesn't seem like the kind of person to care too much, but he actually cares a lot. He cares so much. He cares so much that he, like, again, he straight up just tries to do everything himself. He loves his family, and I think that's cool. I also think it's cool that he kind of simps for the Traveler. This is one of the few times I actually kind of like it. But yeah. Lynette. I also love Lynette. I think I might like Linny more. No, I kind of like Lynette more, and it's for something really small. It's because I like in a lot of her animations, she just has, like, animations that are very similar to Arlecchino. I like the idea that Lynette is just a daddy's girl. It's really funny. I like the detail of, like, when she was a child, Arlecchino, and Arlecchino first found them, Lynette was, like, originally, her ears were, like, I think they were the reason she got trafficked. They were, like, because they were, like, oh, these, like, weird guys, they're, like, into it or whatever, so that happened, but, like, and she didn't like them originally, but Arlecchino, like, when she rescued her, was like, she said, oh, these are really good, like, these could be very useful to you, and Lynette took that to heart, and now, like, you hear her, like, in her voice lines and story lines and stuff like that, she's talking about how she spends a lot of time using her ears to listen. I love that. That's, like, really cool. Like, that's like really cool character progression. Like, I mean, it happens off screen, obviously, because it's a backstory, but still, I just really like that detail about her character. Fremene. I also really like Fremene. I think I like him less than Yoimiya, but I do like Fremene. He's actually really, he's actually really sad reading his character, like, his character stuff. It gets really sad. Like, what was it? He likes to dive. He likes to go diving, obviously. He likes to go into the ocean because he likes to just be alone and be in the dark, floating in the darkness of the ocean, and there's some really sad stuff. He's a pretty good character, I think. I really like him. I like that he specifically was part of the House of the Hearth before Arlecchino became the king. So we do get an outside perspective of what it was like with Crusabina running the house versus with Arlecchino, because Fremine does confirm that, yes, things are way better like this, and, like, I really like it. I like that, like, it's shown that it's still not necessarily a perfect system, but that's, like, honestly, to me, that's even better, because it's, like, that makes so much sense. Like, that, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but it's better somehow, with Arlecchino running it. But I really like Fremine. He's got some really good voice lines and stuff. I like how he really I like how he really, really cares about, like, Linny, Lynette, and Arlecchino. Like, and something about the House of the Hearth that's, like, specifically really, like, kind of sad is, like, their death lines is them calling out to each other. Like, Linny and Lynette call out for each other. Fremine just says father, and then Arlecchino says something about, like, oh, the children. So I like that. It's a small detail, but I love it. Nouvellette. I like Nouvellette a lot, actually, and I didn't expect to. Shit, does he go in A tier? He might. I don't think he does, sorry. He's going in top of B tier, because I really like him. I like that he is, like, one of his flaws is that he has trouble understanding humans, despite the fact that he wants to and he tries to, but he kind of fails at it at first. He gets better, though. He's very funny because he does the most unserious things ever with, like, the most serious, like, the most serious reactions ever, like when he was genuinely trying to convict, like, a bird of a felony or something. Like, are you sure you don't want to spend your time doing something else? He's so funny. He's so funny. He's also, I do like his, thing with the Melusines also, where he wanted them to live among humans, and they do now. And he's old enough to have watched, the Melusines be rejected by the human society and have them be, like, ostracized and stuff like that, all the way up until now, where they're, like, really, really loved by humans. Like, he was old enough to witness that change, and we actually got to see it. That was really cool. I really liked that. And I like his kind of conflicting feelings towards being the Eudex. Like, he has to make judgment calls that he doesn't always like. Like, Navia brings it up, like, her father was innocent but still died technically because of the verdict Nouvellette gave, and instead of stopping the trial. And you see him struggling with that. Like, he does, like, question his sense of justice sometimes, but, like, it's really cool. Wrightsley. I also really like Wrightsley. Maybe not as much as Nouvellette, but I do like him. He's pretty cool. I don't like him for as, like, I don't have as deep of a connection to him as I do some of the other, like, characters I've just talked about, but I do like him. He looks really cool, and I like that he actually has kind of a similar, like, backstory to Arlecchino, kind of, but he just ended up taking a different path, sort of. Yeah. Him and Nouvellette have really funny chemistry sometimes. I'm not a huge, like, Riolette soldier, but they're funny together for sure. So that's good. Well, that's enough about Ridesley. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have it. Our first S tier. Oh, we've finally done it. We've finally done it. We've made it to S tier. Farina is an amazing character. Like, especially by, like, Genshin standards, like, she is really, really good. Like, honestly, Farina would be S, like, almost no matter what. Her, like, design is great. Her, like, character theme is great. She's still, like, somehow, like, really good mechanically. Like, what she offers. But we're talking purely about character. I love Farina. Her whole story is like genuinely like really heartbreaking. Like she's a human that's been forced to live and pretend to be the Archon for 500 years. And she kind of is the Archon in a way, because she is Focalor, but she's specifically the human half of Focalor. Meanwhile, the divinity is like the divine half of Focalor is kind of limited to like talking to her in mirrors, and it's really sad that like the whole setup was Focalor was like, okay, well, you need to bide our time until we can build enough power with the Oratrice and have a set of circumstances line up in such a way that I can remove this this threat, this prophecy, and also kill myself in the process, because that was the whole thing. She sacrificed herself to remove the throne of the Hydro Archon, which let that sink in, bro. Let that sink in. She deleted the concept of an Archon. What the hell? Like that's just insane. There's just no such thing as a Hydro Archon now. There are 6 Archons. I mean, Farina functionally is an Archon, because like when they do promotional material featuring the Archon, she's still there, as she should be. But like in terms of the world itself, there is no Hydro Archon anymore, and that's because of Focalor and Farina. But she's like, I really like her character. She was like, it's like really sad. Like I said, she was forced to put on like a performance, if you would, for 500 years, which is much longer than a human is, you know, kind of supposed to live. So that obviously built up, and that one scene of her like crying without realizing it in the flashback on stage or whatever, and then she just like, she's like, oh, it's just my divine power leaking out, and then like that one shot of it focusing on her while she's like smiling to like, you know, keep the appearance up but still crying. Very good shit. I like that she started kind of making friends and doing stuff outside of the, like, her role that she'd had for the past 500 years. I think it's amazing that her, Linny, Clarand, and Navia, and also the Traveler technically, are just a D&D group. That is so amazing to me that they just love playing D&D. Farina, very, very good character. I wish they would have, like, if it were any other series, they probably would have done it better, but because it's Genshin and you spend the whole game just going from place to place, they couldn't focus on it too much. But I would have liked a little bit more of the in-between time of her, like, going from being kind of destitute after the end of the Archon quest to starting to adjust to her new life. I would have liked a little bit of, I would have liked to have seen that. But anyways, Charlotte. I like Charlotte a lot. She's, I think, one of the first characters you meet. I think I like her more than Wriothesley. I like her whole thing with journalistic integrity, so, like, she's, every time there's, like, fake news or something, Charlotte's there, and she's like, bro, this sucks! And then she helps you a few times, and I like her whole thing. It's pretty funny. Not funny, it's pretty fun. I don't have much to say about her. Her thing working for the Steambird, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I like Charlotte. Okay. We're on a roll here. So, second S tier, Navia. I adore Navia. I absolutely adore Navia. I might put her above Farina, I think. Navia is a good example of a character who has lost a lot and continues to lose a lot, but remains who she is and retains her, retains her warmth and her kindness despite all of it. It's gonna be so hard not to talk about another character that I'll be getting to soon, because they really do have a lot of overlapping stuff, but I love Navia as a character because she really is, like, I love the detail specifically that she wasn't really that upset at Clarande for killing her dad. Like, there was a little bit of that because it was like, okay, well that was insane. The thing that upset Navia, like, the actual thing that upset her was Clarande leaving afterwards, like, just straight up being like, okay, well, anyways, like, I mean, mind you, she had her reasons for that. I will get to that later. I'm trying so hard not to just talk about both of them because that, like, that whole situation is, like, really well done and I like it. But Navia specifically is mad, like, was upset at Clarande for, leaving, and not, staying and, kind of just running away, basically. That was what upset her. Like, obviously, the Clarande killing her father was, like, yeah, that was a bit of a blow, but, like, they would have gotten through that. The big thing that put a dent in their relationship was Clarande running away, basically, like, just leaving. I love that about Navia as a character. That's, like, that's such a complicated situation, and, like, I think the way she handles it is actually kind of, like, that's actually kind of cool. I like it. It's pretty well done. I love that her, like I said, her, Clarande, Farina, and Lenny, and technically the Traveler are a D&D group, but specifically Clarande and Navia both just really love it. Like, they've been playing since they were kids. Again, she's, excuse me. She's, like, lost a lot of people. Like, obviously her father, then Malus and Silver during the Archon quest. I think, yeah. Then Clarande, technically, because Clarande, like I said, ran away. And it's just really, she's a pretty, like, sad character when you look at it like that, but when you actually look at her as a person, she keeps going. Like, it's pretty cool. I like that about her. Like, she has, like, this whole, like, tragic setup, but she doesn't let it control her for the most part. Let's see. I also just really like her personality. Like, she's so fun. Chevreuse. I like Chevreuse a lot. We're putting Chevreuse in B tier, I think. Maybe below. No, I'll leave her above Ridesley. I like Chevreuse. I don't have as much to say, or Chevreuse. I don't have as much to say about her as, like, some of these other characters, because she doesn't get to do as much as some of them. But she is very fun for what she does do. Yeah, I think I'll leave her there. She is pretty fun for what she does manage to do. I don't have a lot to say about her. She likes snacks. I like I like that one scene of her just, like, shooting a guy. Like, that one cutscene where she, like, her and Yoimiya, like, trick this guy and then, like, shoot him. It's pretty cool. Anyways. Xianyun. Xianyun's alright. I like her. She's pretty funny. I'll put her here. I actually really liked her story quest where she kind of just adopted another child, kind of. She likes doing that. She really likes adopting and teaching children to, like, make actual, like, bombs. Not bombs, but, like, whatever she makes. Like, she does a lot of stuff. 'Cause I mean, it's Cloud Retainer, so. I like her thing with Shinha. I like, how she's kind of also, like, also falls under, like, fake I don't give a fucker. Like, she really does like the people around her. Gaming. Wow, I do not have a lot to say about Gaming. I don't remember that much about him. I don't remember anything about Gaming. Holy shit. Below Xingqiu, I guess? I think I only remember him from last year's Lantern Rite, and even then, I don't remember that much about him. I like the concept though, like that he fights with a little dancing lion head thing. That's pretty cool. Uh Chiori! Oh my god, I love Chiori. Okay, I love Chiori. I actually really love Chiori. Oh my goodness, I love Chiori. I've said that like 10 times, but it doesn't get any less true. She's actually technically from Inazuma, but her boutique, Chioriya Boutique, is in Fontaine. I love her personality. She is so... she's... I don't want to say diva unironically, but kind of diva. Yeah, she's... Also, like, whoever her VA is, I forgot. I don't remember off the top of my head. 10 out of 10 job, because there are just several times where she ad-libs something in that's just absolutely perfect. Like that one scene where, like, Xavier is crying during the film festival, and she, like, the dialogue on the bottom, the text just says enough about that, but, like, like, when she says it, she just gives a whole, like, ugh, ew, ugh, alright, enough about that, like, that wasn't necessary! Why did you have to do him like that? It's really funny and I love it. I love her whole personality. I love that scene where, like, Kirara shows up with a delivery and is like, her clothes are slightly mussed up. And Chiori's like, okay, wait, who the fuck did this? And then Chiori was like, oh, no, it's fine. Or not Chiori, Kirara goes, oh, no, it's fine. And then Chiori's like, no, tell me who did this, and then I, go back to doing your work, alright? And then, so she finds the guy who did it, like, literally goes into his house, drags him out by the collar, and throws him onto the ground. Like, oh my god. I love Chiori. And then, like, what does she say after that? She's like, okay, look, I get that we're, like, enemies because, like, our businesses are rival businesses and whatever, and you can, like, slander me and my business and stuff like that, but do not bring my friends into this, like... And she even brought Chevreuse with her. She was like, Captain Chevreuse, come with me, so, like, just to make sure things don't get out of hand, and so I have a witness to testify that I didn't actually do anything in case he tries to spin it, that way. I love Chiori, just... oh my goodness. Chiori, if she asks me to do something, I say yes ma'am and do it. Oh. Okay, we're here. Alright, so... Funny thing about Arlecchino. Funny thing about Arlecchino. This might be my current favorite character just in general. Maybe. Like, I have a lot of my stuff, like my desktop stuff and my phone stuff is like Arlecchino, like my wallpaper and whatnot. All of it, Arlecchino. Like, shit. Like, anything I have that can be Arlecchino is Arlecchino. Speaking of which... Never mind. That's not a good idea. I won't do that. So Arlecchino was the first character I genuinely, like, actually wailed for. Like, I would go for certain cons on characters and sometimes go for their weapons. Or most of the time I'd go for their weapons. With Arlecchino, I actually got my card shut down because I immediately went to C6 R5 her. And I did do it. Like I said, my card got shut down before I could fully do it, so I had to, like, wait a few days and then do it during her banner, but this is, it goes without saying, absolute favorite Genshin character. Oh, shit, where do I start with her? Her design is just fucking phenomenal. They have not cooked this hard since then, and probably will not cook that hard ever again. I don't know what they did with Arlecchino's design. Whoever was in charge of designing the character, they need a raise, and they also need a promotion. They need to run the rest of Hoyoverse. They need to go from being, like, a designer to a CEO. They need to actually be running the whole thing. Her backstory, actually excellent. I loved her backstory where, like, with Claire V, and how at the end of like everything, she was the one who had to kill Claire V because Claire V, it was like an assisted suicide kind of thing almost, except they were supposed to be dueling anyways, so it was like it was a whole thing. And then she went to kill Crucibina after that because she's just like that. And then she became a Harbinger, and I really like that she doesn't care about her role as a Harbinger that much. The most important thing to her is being the father of the House of the Hearth. Like, we've been seeing that in Nod Cry, where she straight up says, okay, if the Tsaritsa doesn't do anything about Dottore and says, like, oh, well, he's fine to do this, then I don't care. I'm gonna fight him as Peruere instead. Like, she's more, like, she do not fuck with Columbina, do not fuck with anyone else she cares about, because she's a hypocrite. Mr. like, oh, emotions just get in the way. You can't, you can't let them control you. Okay. What? Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay. That got me to ugly laugh, bro. That's how funny it is. That is how funny it is. What do you mean don't let them control you? You're letting them control you. Oh my god. Okay, I'm trying to calm down because that is so funny to me. Like, don't let your emotions control you. Try to keep them buried. Like, you don't do that. You are actively like, just over here letting anything and everything like you feel dictate what you do. And I love that. I love that she's a hypocrite. That genuinely makes me, like, very happy. Like, yeah, she's a hypocrite. That I'm fine with that. Because it's a good character trait. Like, it's not a good personality trait, but it's an interesting character trait. Like, oh my god, that killed me. Anyways, I don't want to spend like an hour talking about Arlecchino as much as I would love to, so we'll move on, but just know that I have a lot of thoughts about her. So, Clarande, another S tier. Easily another S tier. I really like, I've already kind of mentioned some of it, like, she likes D&D. I mentioned her thing with Navia, but I'll talk about, like, the thing from her side. The reason, like, she ran away, essentially, like, the reason she left without, she gave Navia the, like, first gift, that her master gave to her when she was a child, because Petronia, her master, isn't, like, she left on Clarande's 10th birthday? I think it was, like, her 10th birthday, something like that. And Clarande, obviously has, some issues with that, but, so she gave that to Navia, basically. That's, like, to hold on to. I read a Tumblr post like, a few days ago that was really funny and summed it up. I'm not gonna read it, but I thought about it. It was basically like, oh, boo-hoo, I don't want to lose this girl, even though I killed her dad, so let me just give her this sword I cut myself on when I was 3, and Navia's even worse because she's into it. Which, yeah, that sums it up pretty nicely. But basically the reason she left after killing Navia's dad is because she didn't want to be, like, another bad memory for her, which is, I think, pretty cool. Like, she was like, okay, well, obviously she wouldn't want to be around me after that, but, like, she did. That's the thing. Navia did want to be around her after that, even more than normal, because it's like, okay, well, you killed someone who was kind of, like, family to both of us. And so Clarande, you know, doofus that she is, was just like, well, let's just leave instead of, I don't know, checking and making sure, well, like, what Navia wants out of this situation. And I thought that was pretty cool. The reason she killed Navia's father also is because he was convicted of something. He was actually innocent, but, like, the way the system works in Fontaine is it's like, I mean, he has to either, like, accept the guilty verdict, or he can choose to have a duel for his honor, which he did, and he kept fighting, even though he, like, obviously lost. And Clarande is someone who, like, has kind of a strict code of honor where she cannot stop fighting until the duel is 100% over, which it wasn't because Callus, Navia's father, was just, he just kept going. And the last thing he did was tell Cloran to protect Navia, so it's just, ooh, it's so good. Very good character. I like her and Navia's, like, slow progression back towards being really close during the Archon quest and the events and other things. That was really nice. Okay, we're almost done. I'm gonna have to do some of these quick, because holy fuck. Siegeween. Siegeween is not a character I care that much about, but she's okay. I'll put her below Kirara. I'll put her below... Oh my god, Siegeween. You're going pretty deep into B tier. I don't like Siegeween that much. She's okay. Yeah, B tier. Sethos, I don't care about Sethos. I barely remember the quest he was in. I think it was Sino's second story quest. You go above Mika and Hazo. Yeah. Wait, no, I kind of remember you, so there we go. Emmy Lee. I love Emmy Lee. I would love to put her in A tier. I can't because she has only showed up once. She has showed up once, and it was during her story quest. Unless I'm just missing something. I might have forgotten something else, but no. I think she showed up in a event. A single event. But she showed up in her story quest. She did some cool stuff. She hasn't done anything since. I'm so sorry, Emmy Lee. I love you. I cannot put you any higher than B tier or, like, any higher than Ridesley because you don't do anything. Mualani, she's okay. C tier. Wait, where do I put her? Yeah, I'll put her above. There we go. Kachina, I actually like Kachina a bit more. I'll put her above Mualani. God, Kanich, okay, Kanich is going in E tier. I don't know about F tier. No, you know what? I'm putting him in F tier. He does nothing. He does nothing during the Archon quest. Like, he straight up does nothing. He shows up to be, like, their, government-mandated green character for the Rainbow Power of Friendship scenes, and that's it. Like, I could not tell you anything he does, and it doesn't help, like, this isn't the fault of the writing, but it doesn't help that, a lot of his lines weren't voiced, so I don't have a lot of, there's a few levels of disconnect with the character for me. So yeah, F tier, just because he doesn't do anything. I mean, I guess he got to do something during that, the Cheval Moran Film Festival event, but he was honestly my least favorite part of that anyway, so. Shilonen, she's alright. I'll put her above these two. She's pretty cool. Chaska, okay, so I actually liked Chaska a bit more than the rest of, like, a lot of the, like, Natlan characters, but I don't... It's only because of her story stuff, but she also does the emo edgy thing that I hate, and she does it in a way that I don't like, also similar to Zhao, so... I don't know. I can't... I'll put her above Kachina, I guess. She's alright. Yeah. Ororon. I don't like Ororon. I find him annoying. I'll put him next to Bennett. The annoying personality gimmick characters. I don't know. I just don't like him. His design is horrendous, by the way. That's also factoring in right here. Mavuika. You go right next to Venti. I do not like Mavuika, bro. Moika? I think it's Moika. My bad. I don't know. She just... I know people get mad when you say it, but it is kind of true. She's a little bit of a Mary Sue, and it's unfortunate, but, like, that's just kind of how it is. She has some funny moments that I like, though, and there's some kind of cool-ish moments, I guess, but I just never felt that connected to the character. To me, she's a bit of a Mary Sue. I do like her more than Venti. I honestly kind of like her a bit more than some of the people in D tier, but I don't know, just off of principle, I have to put her there. See, Lolly, she is also alright. I'll put her next to Shilonen, I guess. No, I'll put her next to Mualani. There we go. Layla. Lanyan. She's also alright. She didn't... I only remember her from the Lantern Rite event last year, so I'm just gonna put her next to, I don't know where I should put her, actually. I think I just have to put her in the middle of C tier, because genuinely I don't remember. Like, she was in that Lantern Rite event, and that's it. Mizuki. I like Mizuki. I'll put her in B tier. God, I wish I would have been going this fast since the beginning, because, this took so much more time than I thought. It's kind of a good thing. That means I can reuse some of the ideas I had for later, but still. I don't know. I'll put her... I'll put her above Eula, I think. That works, yeah. I like her thing, like, she's friends with Miko, and I like the concept, like, they actually do delve into the concept of a Baku, like, eating dreams and stuff, and they use that as, like, oh, she's a therapist, because she can also see people's dreams. That's pretty cool. Veressa. I don't like Veressa either, really. I actually don't know that much about her, because I don't think I did the story quest with her, so, you can go next to... You can go above Sethos, because I actually have seen more stuff with you, because, you were in the Chevalmaran Film Festival. Ion-san, unfortunately, suffers from the same thing as Kanich, where in the main Archon quest, she really doesn't get to do that much. So... I'll put her... I can't put her any higher than that. I'll put her next to Veressa. There you go. Yeah, I'll put her next to Veressa, I think. Escoffier. I like Escoffier, but not quite as much as... I don't know. She's alright. How much do I like Escoffier? I liked her story quest. I'll put her below Kirara. I like how she's, like, Farina's favorite chef. That's pretty funny. I like how Skirk is essentially dog shit without her. God, that's still so funny to me that, oh, she's essentially dog shit without Escoffier. But yeah, I like Escoffier. Aoife, I don't care about Aoife. Yeah, you can go bottom of C tier, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to talk about Aoife, bro. Skirk. Skirk is okay. I like Skirk. Where do I put her, though? I think I'll put her next to Eula. No, I'll put her above Eula. She's pretty cool. I like her whole thing. She's, actually a lot more interesting than I was originally expecting for the character, so that's pretty huge also. Dahlia. I do not care at all about Dahlia. I don't even really remember any of the stuff I saw with him in it, so I'll put him down here next to Sethos. Inefa. Inefa's funny. I like her. I'll put her below Escoffier, because she's pretty funny. Loma. I don't actually have... I think also B tier. She's alright. Aino. I'll also put... No, Aino's probably gonna go in C tier. I didn't really... Yeah, Aino goes top of C tier. Flynn's... I don't care about Flynn's. I don't dislike him like some of the E tiers, but, I at least kind of remember him. He can go above Diona, I guess. Nefer. Nefer's kind of cool. Like, she adds a bit more context to Sumeru, also. I'll put her A tier above Inefa and Lauma. That's fine, yeah. She's actually pretty interesting. Durin, I don't care about Durin. Let's see. Like, I know he's an anticipated character, I just never really cared about any of his stuff. Like, even back during Dragonspine, I wasn't really that interested, so... you can go... above, Kaya. There we go. Jehoda. I actually really like her. She's very funny. We'll put her next to Inefa. Okay, some of these are a bit difficult because these two haven't been released yet, so, well, hold on, you know what? Below. Shit, give me a second. Yellow, not yellow, blue. Not released. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and put these two here. Alright, Columbina. S tier. I'll put her below Farina because I like her maybe a little less. But I like Columbina. I actually have the unpopular opinion that I'm fine with the direction they went for her character. I think they could have handled some of the stuff better for sure. Like, I don't know, I would have liked more, like, I realize Traveler is the main character. But I would have liked more of what, like, her stuff with the Fatui and less with the Traveler. Like, I know we got a lot of her with, her fellow Harbingers, but that's the thing. I wanted more. I would have gladly sacrificed all of the Traveler's interactions with her for, like, more of her interacting with the Harbingers. Like, I loved her interactions with them so much. I get, like, oh, well, everyone has to interact with the Traveler at least a little bit because they're the main character. I get that. And then I get that, like, they're all, like, they can all, like, technically form bonds with the Traveler or whatever. I just wish it was a more interesting character that they were getting attached to, so that's my whole thing. But I know everyone was expecting Eldritch Horror Columbina. That we all were. I know I was, but I mean, at the end of the day, we kind of have to accept that was just a headcanon. It as cool as it would have been, and as much as I personally would have liked it, I'm fine with what we have. I'm actually really happy with it. I like that I like that we got confirmation that at least the female Harbingers were really close, like Arlecchino, Columbina, Sandrone, and La Signora. They were all really close. Capitano and Child would sometimes show up to their tea parties or whatever, so I think it's kind of cool that, like, they're like, oh, well, they can join because they're chill, but they just hate the rest of them because they all suck. There might have even been, now that I think about it, there might have been a chance that Scaramouche might have shown up to those, but they wouldn't remember because he's, you know, he erased himself, basically. I also like the thing they do with Identity, kind of, where it's like she's not Damselette anymore, she's Columbina, and I like that that's kind of mirrored by what Arlecchino says, where she's like, if the Tsaritsa doesn't actually put a leash on Dottore, then I will do as my heart instructs me and fight as Paraware. I like that. So that's the end of it. I'm not making any edits to this because I did not expect it to go on this long. I had a whole list of tier lists that I wanted to get to because I genuinely didn't think, like, hold on, let me go count. I have a list of, like, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have, like, 16 things I was gonna do. And I didn't think that would be enough, but, like, apparently one was. So here's what I might do next time, because I'm probably just gonna go ahead and, like, save this, and then call it on the... Yeah, I'm gonna, like, do this, because No. Because I had an idea for something that I'm gonna do later. So I'll just have to make this, like... something I occasionally do, because I do have other ideas. It's just, I was trying to mix it up with, like, longer tier lists and shorter tier lists, because the one I was planning to do after this, hold on, let me go. Let me give you an idea. Here we go. We're gonna do game franchises, and this is gonna take so long. I thought the Genshin one was kind of short, but, like, I didn't count on myself being able to, like... just talk about nothing when it comes to the characters. So it actually went on for way longer than I thought. Um, so what I might do from now on is just do like I might just do I might just do 1 or 2 tier lists per like stream where I do tier lists because I kind of like doing this kind of stuff. It's easy and it's a nice break if I'm doing like if I'm in the middle, if I'm like if I just finished a game or if I'm in the middle of a game and I want to do something else. So stuff like this I like doing, but I might just do 1 or 2 per stream and then depending on how long they are, because this one's just going to be a whole stream, most likely. But I'm also probably going to try to be a little more concise with what I'm talking about, because with the Genshin one, I went on for a while about the first few characters. That's not right. About the first few characters, like, the first few regions, even though, like, I realistically didn't have anything to say about them, so probably could have shaved a little bit of time off. We're speedrunning. But, what I was gonna do originally was I was gonna do a second Genshin tier list with this, but what I was gonna do was I was gonna rank them based off their drip, because some of them, like, for example, I'm not gonna commit to it because I'm probably about to end, because I didn't realize I've been yelling and laughing as much as I have, but my voice is like destroyed right now. For example, though, I didn't like Ito that much, personally. Like, I think I put him in, like, C tier or something. He was okay. I think I put him in bottom of B tier. I think I might put him in S tier if we were doing drip, because oh my god, like, he has that shit on. Like, I'll have to think about that. Like, that's probably not my actual decision, but that's just an example of, like, there's probably going to be characters I either didn't like or just straight up hated that are going to be, like, an S tier or closer just because their drip is good. Then, like, alternatively, there's probably going to be characters I like that are going to be pretty far down because it's like, okay, well, I don't think they're wearing that. But yeah. So let me just do this. Okay. Yeah, so this was a nice break because I spent, like, the last 3 days just playing Silent Hill. I just realized the music has been so quiet that you probably can't hear it at all, so let me turn that up a little bit. That's good. Okay. So, I think, what was I gonna do next? Tomorrow I'm taking a break, but, Saturday... What was I doing Saturday? Oh, yeah. Okay, so, it's a collab. It says, repo with Magi, but we were actually discussing it, and it's gonna be something kind of different. We're gonna have what we refer to as friend slop roulette, where, basically we're gonna play one friend slop game. I guess we'll start with repo since that's what it says on the schedule, but, we're gonna start with one friend slop game. Then when we die in that one, we move to another. The goal will, I guess, be to get as far as we can in any of the games, but, that was what we're gonna do Saturday. I'll also be posting, I guess, maybe at the beginning of Saturday, or maybe toward the end. I'll have to see. I'm trying to decide before or after the stream, but, like, basically Saturday I'm going to be posting the next schedule. I am taking, like, 4 days, as a break next week, just because holiday stuff. I have, like, a lot of, like, holiday plans. Otherwise, I would usually try to stream, like, most days a week and only take maybe 1 or 2 days break. But, I will let slide that Sunday, just to, like, I guess, just I guess give an idea. We're gonna be starting Silent Hill 2, I think, if I'm thinking of the schedule, the right schedule. Oh, not Sunday. That's already on this schedule. My bad. I will let slide that after that, because I know I also have, where's my schedules? Okay. Yeah, we're starting Silent Hill 2 on Sunday, and then we're gonna continue it on Monday and Tuesday. If I don't finish it, that'll be unfortunate, because there's gonna be a few things in between now and then. Like I said, there's gonna be a 4-day break, and then not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday, the 28th, I'm going to be playing Ball X Pit, which I'm excited about. Because I'm gonna try to have some other games I can, like, I can just kind of throw in or just play for a bit that aren't, like, whichever one I happen to be long playing at any given time. Which I was thinking about doing, like, Devil May Cry 5, because I've been, I've been kind of doing my Virgil playthrough on and off, my second one. But, I don't know, because I think I'd rather start, like, a fresh playthrough if I were to stream Devil May Cry, like, any of them. And I did have the idea to do some labbing in DMC, just for a stream. I don't know if I can make a whole stream out of that, but I could, like, do that and then maybe go play a little bit of DMC while I'm doing that. But I do, want to get to that eventually, but I'm still working on the script for the Silent Hill review, and I would like to, I don't know if it's gonna be possible, but I would like to try to post it by the end of I'm not gonna promise anything because it's very unlikely as of right now, but I would like to try to post it by the end of this month, which probably won't happen. But I am working on that, and I'm gonna try to have a better, like, structure for stuff like this. This was a good experience, though. Now I know that I should usually plan on doing 1 to 2 tier lists per stream, unless I'm actively planning on doing a longer one, which I originally was, but I mean, I can just sit here and talk for a bit, but the original plan, because I was planning to do at least 3 hours, which, I mean, I guess I still could, but I wanted to go eat also. Oh, there we go. I don't know, maybe I could, hold on. Let me see something here. Yeah, I just mashed my throat. I need to try to talk quieter. I just talk very loud. That one has to be last. Okay, you know what? We can do... Not that. We can do, I think, really, really quickly, before we leave, I can do one more. So let me do that, because I would like to have... I don't want this one to just be Genshin stuff, so... Let me see if I can find this again. We're gonna do... Where is it? Hold on, give me a second to look for this. Pretend you didn't see that. We're going to talk. Okay. If I can find it. Yep, there it is. Okay. Alright, so really quick, before we end things, because I would like to, oh, hold on. Haha, it messed up the... Not that. Give me a second. I'm gonna try to make this work because I didn't realize that the resolution was destroyed for all of this, so... Okay, there we go. Very, very scuffed tier list stream, but this was supposed to just kind of be a break anyways from... For me and for everyone else, so it's not just like 3 straight weeks of Silent Hill and nothing else, because, yeah. We're ranking the... We are ranking the... capstones for D&D classes, which should be short and sweet. It should be enough to, like, be some substance, but not enough that it's, like, it's gonna take forever. But this is basically just whatever level 20 ability you get, from any given class, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull up... Hold on. I'm switching back to talking for just a second while I pull up my goat 5e tools. Okay. Alright, now. Why? Okay, now we're good. So, kicking things off, we're doing Barbarian, Primal Champion. Which I believe... I could just go down here. Okay. Oh yeah, this is the one that just gives you like a +4 to your strength and con. Okay, so that is kind of cool. It is pretty cool in theory to have like a 24 con or 24 strength. However, at that point where you're level 20 and the wizard is just casually like throwing out stuff that like changes reality, that this isn't that great. I'll still put it in like B tier because those are very good stat increases. That's like, again, you're going above 20, which is usually impossible for like most things. So that's still pretty good. And if nothing else, it'll make your AC even higher and it'll make your attacks hit a little harder. But I think the capstone itself might be limited by Barbarian as a class because at that point, like, a lot of stuff has resistances, and if you don't have a magic weapon that's, like, helping you eat through those, then you're not gonna be doing a whole lot. It doesn't help that Barbarian might be, like, my least favorite class because they're just a little too, like, simple for me. I've never been too fond of the playstyle, but I'll put it in B. Next up is Bard's 20th level ability, which is Superior Inspiration. Oh, that's not good. When you roll initiative and have no use of Bardic Inspiration left, you regain 1 use. Also, I should mention I'm talking about the 2014 version of 5e. We're not talking about 2024. It's 2014, but that's not good. Also, I think, yeah, that's just, ooh. Yeah, like, it would be nice if you could regain multiple uses, but it's just 1 use when you regain initiative, and, like, all of your good stuff, like, as a bard, is tied to your bardic inspiration. Like, that's your class abilities. So, that's not, I think I'm gonna put that in D tier, because that's pretty rough. Yeah. Alright, next. Warlock. 20th level ability, Eldritch Master. Spend 1 minute. Oh, that's regaining all your spell slots in a minute. And you can only do that once per day. That one's alright. I mean, it is pretty good being able to regain your spell slots on in a minute, like, on paper, but you're a warlock, so you don't have a lot of spell slots, so that's not actually that great. I might put it above Primal Champion, but it's still not that great, so we'll put it in B tier, because it is technically pretty good, not having to short rest as much. Yeah, we'll do that. Wizard. Signature spells, I think. Yep, signature spells. Choose 2 third-level wizard spells in your spell book. They're always prepared. Don't count against number of spells you have prepared, and you can cast each of them once at 3rd level without expending a spell slot. That's good. I might put that in A tier. I feel a little lukewarm about it, but I'm gonna put it in A tier because when you think about it, that's like an extra shield or an extra haste, which is always good because those are both really good. Yeah, that's alright. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of want to move everything down by 1 tier, but we'll see. But that one's alright. Just an extra 3rd level spell. And just extra spells in general, because they don't count towards your number of spells. Artificer, or Artificer, however you want to pronounce it. Soul of Artifice. Alright. You gain a +1 bonus to all saving throws per magic item you are currently attuned to. Wow, hold on. You can use your reaction to end one of your... Okay, hold on. Yeah, removing everything down by 1. Warlock, Eldritch Master, and Barbarian Primal Champion are now C tier. Wizard is B tier because I forgot some of these. I was sitting here thinking that, like, all of the capstone abilities were just kind of lukewarm, but I forgot you get some pretty good stuff. So, Soul of Artifice goes in A tier because that's pretty good. Like, especially if you're, like, an armorer, artificer, or artificer, then you will be attuned to, like, maybe 3 or 4 magic items, like, because you have 3 attunement slots, but I think there's some things where you can use multiple attunement, or you can use multiple items for, wait, hold on, you can use multiple items per 1 attunement slot, but I think they would still count, because you're technically attuned to both of them. But that's pretty good. And then, you just get, like, when you're reduced to 0 hit points, you can just drop to 1 instead, which is also pretty good. That's pretty good. Cleric, improved divine protection. Or divine intervention. Where did I get protection from? Okay, so your call for intervention succeeds automatically, no roll required. Okay, so that's just this, but, like, completely guaranteed. That's just one, that's just, like, that's just, once per day you can, like, you can ask the DM for a hint. I don't know, that's okay, I guess. It's not that great. I'd probably put it in C tier. Actually, you know what? I might retroactively move these back up and then put this in C tier. I don't know how I feel about these, like, genuinely. My opinion keeps shifting. Okay, so these are back in B tier. Yeah, I'm fine with that for now. Next, Druid. Archdruid. Unlimited number of wild shapes is pretty good. Ignoring components for spells is pretty good, or that aren't consumed. That's pretty good, yeah. I'll put that in... I think I'll also put that in A tier. Maybe above Wizard, because that's unlimited wild shapes, and you can now do more in your wild shapes. Being able to cast spells while wild shaped is very good, especially because, let's say you're like a Circle of the Moon Druid, then that's just a flat buff. Okay, fighter. Okay, so you can attack 4 times whenever you take the attack action that turn. Yep. I kind of figured. So that's pretty good. But again, this is at 20th level when like the fighter has already significantly kind of fallen off unless they have like really unless they have some like really good magic items that are kind of carrying them. This isn't really that good. Like this is really dependent on the fighter, but 4 extra attacks is pretty decent though. Like that's pretty nice, especially if you throw like if you consider things like action surge and haste, that's like the entire turn economy being eaten up, but I think I'll put it above Primal Champion at the very least. Because that's just more attacks and turn economy is kind of king in the game, so I think I'll put it above Warlock, maybe. Okay. Next up is Monk, Protect Self. Monk! There we go. Protect Self. Protect... Am I having a stroke? Perfect Self. Where did I get Protect from? Okay, so I can't read... Man, maybe I'm more tired than I realized, I guess. Damn. When you roll for initiative and have no key points, you regain 4. Okay, well, I mean, that's a little better than... I'll put it in C tier because that's at least multiple key points, but I mean, you have to spend, like, most of your actions cost multiple key points anyways, so... I don't know, low C tier, or high D. I might put it high D because that's... yeah, I'll put it high D. Okay, Paladin. This one I actually know. This depends entirely on your oath, which honestly, that's what makes it kind of hard to rank because there's some that are really good, but here's the thing. I'm personally going to put them all in like level 20. Level 20. Okay, shit, I need to end this. Oh my god. We're starting to lose it a little bit. It's all falling apart. I'm personally putting it in S. Because, this is just really cool and really strong. Depending, like, again, some of them are better than others, depending on which paladin subclass you are. Like, not all oaths are made equal. But this is basically once per day as a paladin. You just get kind of like a transformation, basically. Like, for a minute, you have, like, a bunch of buffs, and it's really cool. And in some cases, like in the case of Oath of Vengeance, it is a literal transformation, like the Avenging Angel, I think is what it's called. Yeah, like you get wings, and then you get like you get aura, which is pretty cool. The rules, yeah, some of these are just really cool. Harness. Yeah, this one just gives you resistance to all damage, additional attack, and crit, like, on a 19 or 20. That's pretty good. That's just, like, a once a day, like, if you decide a fight is really, really rough, then, yeah. I'll put it in S, because that's... I think it's actually... It kind of works in its favor that the actual capstone could be several different things, because that just means that this is just kind of helped by being like 7 or 8 different capstones in one. Ranger. This one I remember because it makes me sad because it's not good. It's... Wow, you can add your wisdom modifier to the attack roll or damage roll of an attack against one of your favorite enemies. It's only once per turn, and I mean, that's only going to end up being a +5 without the help of magic items, and a +5 at level 20 is not that good unless, you, like, I don't know, unless you want to pair it up with, like, a Great Weapon Master or, like, Sharpshooter or something. But I cannot give it above a C, personally, is like, which is sad because Ranger is one of my favorite classes, but, like, oh my god, that is not a good capstone. Like, imagine being, like, you're level 20, now you hit very, very slightly harder, so much so that it's hard to notice. But yeah, Foe Slayer, not good. Not good on its own, anyways. It has synergy with other things, but not enough for me to be like, ah, it's pretty good. Rogue, Stroke of Luck. Let's see. You can turn the miss into a hit. If you fail an ability check, you can treat the d20 roll as a 20. That's pretty good, actually. That's actually pretty good, yeah. Wait, this is just a better version of the Ranger capstone, because, like, it's just a +5 to attack or damage, but this is, if you miss, then no you don't. You automatically hit. Oh, you can only use it once. Yeah, that's the catch. Okay, it's still pretty good, because it can turn a hit into a miss. So, I'll put it in B tier. I think it's honestly under Primal Champion. Okay. Now, Sorcerer. Where's Sorcerer? There it is. Okay, so Sorceress Restoration. You regain 4 expended sorcery points whenever you finish a short rest. That's pretty good. I kind of want to put it, like... shit. Honestly, it kind of falls into this. It's... and it's even worse, actually, now that I think about it, because that's a short rest. I'll put it top of D because you can do multiple short rests, I guess, but, like, I don't know. That's not a lot of sorcery points when, like, that's enough for maybe 1 or 2 meta magic things, depending on what you do, and then you're done, so. Man, are there really no other S tiers? Maybe I'll put... I think I might move Artificer up to S tier, because it doesn't sit right with me that only Paladin is here, but I think I just was underwhelmed by most of them. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Okay, so... Barbarian, Rogue, yep, alright, that's that one. A lot of the level 20 abilities, I'm gonna be so honest, are just really, really, underwhelming, at least for me. Like, for most classes, when you get your level 20 ability, it's... the main reaction is just gonna be, oh. Huh. Well, alright. But, like, some of them you get some really good stuff. Like with Paladin, again, you basically just get a personalized transformation depending on what your oath is, but, like, a lot of them are just, like I showed with the Ranger, like, oh, you get Wisdom modifier to, attack or damage roll once per turn. And mind you, that is a maximum of 5, unless you have, like, an artifact or something that's boosting your wisdom. Which, yeah, it's a little tragic. It's a very underwhelming capstone, but again, then you have stuff like Paladin, which is like, let's just go to one of these. Oathbreaker. Sacred Oath feature. Dreadlord. Okay, you just get an aura for 1 minute, and, do a bunch of psychic damage when they're frightened of you in that area. Okay, you can make the shadows attack. This one's alright, but... yeah, but basically you just get, like, a transformation as a paladin, as opposed to, again, ranger with just, oh, you get anything between a 0 to a +5 to attack or damage once per turn. So, again, a lot of the capstones are just really underwhelming, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's just how it is, I guess. Even the ones that are kind of, like, that look kind of good on the surface, like, Barbarian giving you +4 to Strength and Con, and then Fighter giving you 4 extra attacks, or 4 attacks, is, like, it seems good, but it's also a little dependent on the Fighter or the Barbarian, because if they don't have magic weapons helping them out, that's, like, usually not going to be enough damage to keep up with the spellcasters, unless they start critting, or, again, unless they have a magic item helping them out and helping them eat through resistances. So, the extra attack and Primal Champion are good, but they have several dependencies. But yeah, it's, I don't know, yeah. But yeah, that was tier lists. I wanted to get that one, short one done, because I didn't want it to just be, alright, well, here's 2 hours of me yelling into my mic about characters in Genshin Impact, because that wasn't originally supposed to be that wasn't originally supposed to be what this was. Like, it wasn't supposed to just be Genshin. Like I said, I had a few different things lined up that I wanted to do, but I just didn't get to them because the Genshin one just took so long. But yeah, I'll get to those eventually, since I do have a few that I'd like to do, and this could just be something I do as, like, a little break, because, again, that way I can take a break between, like, I just finished playing the first Silent Hill, and, like, I think it would be nice for everyone, myself included, if there was just, like, a little break in between me doing things like that. So, that's kind of what this was. Not really, a huge event, but just kind of a funny, like, me being very loud and very, I guess, what's the word? Very loud and very, stubborn about my opinions. So, but let's see, like I said, tomorrow is gonna be a break, but day after tomorrow, Saturday, should be more eventful, because it's gonna be an actual game. We're gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be me and Maggie playing, doing friend slop roulette, as we have dubbed it, where, again, we're gonna start in Repo, we're gonna play a little bit, once we die, we're gonna move to another game. We might be able to get some other people, on board, but we haven't talked about that, so, I'll see what me and him can come up with, but, until then, I know this one was especially scuffed, especially because I forgot to resize the window in OBS, so, like, the entire tier list was cut off for most of the stream. And again, I know most of the stream was just me talking about Genshin, but, next time we do one of these, I'll probably just pick something different from my list of things I had, just so we can, like, because I don't want to do another Genshin one after that. Not until later. So we will definitely be doing some more actual games later, but I just kind of wanted to do this as a nice little break. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all for coming if you did show up. Again, I know this one was more scuffed and also had way less going on because it was essentially just me yelling about Genshin characters for like 2.5 hours and then deciding last minute that I wanted to rank some D&D capstones and then doing that. I destroyed my voice, and I'm probably gonna drink some tea after this to help that. But until next time, thank you for coming. Goodbye.